Ciao Bella, welcome to Bella Uncinetto. I'm Christina and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. We are here for the March genre reveal for the liberal arts mal. And if you're new here and have no idea what I'm talking about, each month for 2026, I am doing a make along where I'm combining my love of reading and my love of crafting into a make along for people to enjoy with me should they so choose. So I choose a genre each month, and you can choose something to read that month and make something. You can read the books that I'm reading if you like, or it can be something that you have read previously. It just has to be something that you've made in that month. So in March, right, for this one, that inspires you from that story. So you don't necessarily have to read the book in the month, although you can if you wish to, but you do have to make the item in the month. It can't be something you've previously made, right? Because I'm not requiring that you read the book. I wouldn't know either way, but uh, I'm not requiring that you read it in that month. I do want it to be something that you've made, please, in that month. And it has to be finished by the deadline. So if you turn it in after the deadline, then it doesn't count for that month, right? So, uh, January was historical fiction. February was fantasy or fairy tales. And now we're into March. And I am really excited for this one. And I'll get to it in a minute, right? I will. I do want to remind you that you have until the last day of the month at midnight Pacific time. So right now when I'm filming this, it's February 28th. You won't see this until March 2nd. But I don't do excuse me. I don't do the like showcase and pick the winner until after the deadline. So that will come out later this month. But the day that I'm filming, it's still February. So I may be saying that people still have time because right now they do, but when you see this, they won't. So anyway, um, and it can be anything that you make. It doesn't have to be fiber arts related. It just has to be something that inspires you from whatever book genre that I've picked, whatever book you pick. So when you send me your picture, right, I need the name of the book. I need what from the book inspired you to make whatever it is you made. And then I need a picture of what you made. And that's how you enter. You can enter on Facebook, my Facebook group. You can enter by sending me an email, which is in my link tree, which is in the description box. Or you can post it in the community on my YouTube channel. So whichever way that you want to enter, I check all of those. So you are welcome to enter for in any of those ways. But I need those three things in order for the entry to count. And it has to be done by the deadline. Okay? All right. So what are we doing this month? For March, we are going to do travel literature. Now, some of you may be like, what in the world is that? There are lots of different ways that you can look at this, right? You can say, okay, travel, that's like a guidebook. Sure, if you want to Rick Steves it and use a guidebook, that's fine. I don't have any of those, and that's not what I'm using. I am actually challenging myself this month, and we'll get to that in a minute. But it can also be taken in another sense as though it's a story about travel. Okay? So that's how I'm interpreting it because I don't have a guidebook, but you can absolutely use a guidebook. If you've been on a trip before and you had a guidebook for places that you wanted to see, or if you're planning a trip and you have a book about that place. If something inspires you, make it, right? That's fine. But this month, what I'm doing, I'll pull my books. I am challenging myself to read 2 books this month for this purpose. Now, I read a lot, but I have so many books. And I have so many that I have not read. You would not believe that, but I have so many that I have not read. And I want to, part of the reason why I'm doing this is that I want to pull books off my shelf and I want to read them. So I'm making a conscious effort to find genres that I have on my shelf and read those books that I have not already read. So, yes, I do have books that I have not read, but I still have lots of books that I have read. I don't get rid of them. They stay with me. Okay, so I am interpreting this in 2 ways, okay? The first one is this book called From Scratch. It is on Netflix. I have not watched it, but I hear it's good. I don't know. But this is about a girl who meets a man in Florence. She is American and he is Sicilian. They get married and there is some drama, right? But this book takes the woman and her daughter to Sicily. Okay? It does tell you a lot more of that on the back. I'm trying not to tell you everything that's on the back of the book, but there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of sadness, and that's just what it says on the back of the book, right? So I can only imagine what the actual book is going to be like. But because they do travel to Sicily, right, which is where I am, I thought that that would be interesting to see other people's travels to Sicily and not compare it to mine, right? Because my story isn't a love story for the ages, as this seems to be, but it is what got me, honestly, is it says a memoir of love, Sicily, and finding home. So this is a travel story. They do travel, they do find something in Sicily. So I thought that that would be interesting to read. Okay? You are welcome to get this book and read it along with me if you like. We can definitely talk about it. I absolutely love to talk about books. So if you do get this book and you want to read it in this month with me, I'm not saying we have to keep pace or anything, but if you read it and then you want to talk about it with me, absolutely email me. We can chat. I will be so excited. Okay. This is the first book. Okay. The second book is kind of a blend of last month and this month because this is called Darling Girl. And it is a take on the Peter Pan novel, a Peter Pan story. But it is about uh, Wendy's granddaughter. Okay. And then they do travel um, to Neverland. They do go on a journey. So I thought that this would be very interesting to read because it's not the actual Peter Pan story that many of us know, right? But it says that Holly is running a successful business, uh, and her son is fine, and then she gets a call from her daughter Eden, who's apparently been in a coma for 10 years. Um, she gets a call that her daughter is missing, not from her daughter, excuse me. But Holly believes that Peter Pan is responsible, and Eden has this rare condition that is supposedly helpful to her half brother Jack that he has no idea about. Um, and Holly turns to her mom, Jane, and then she enlists Christopher Cook, which is like Captain Hook, right? So there's all these things that, like, I don't know. There's travel in here. They do go. There is magic, so it is like fantasy fairy tale esque, but it is also travel. So it can be the real world travel, or it can be a fictional world travel. Either way, you're learning about a place, right? That maybe you've never been, or maybe you're experiencing a place that you have been in a different way, right? So that's how I'm choosing to interpret the travel literature genre, because I think that opens up way more opportunities for books. But if you want to stick to the traditional travel literature where it's a guidebook and it's um, a trip that you're planning or that you've been on, that's completely acceptable, right? That's okay with me. Um, you can just send me a picture of the thing that inspired you from that book. Like that's the whole idea, right? So, but this is my challenge to myself to read both of these and hopefully make something for both of these. Now, again, it may not be fiber arts. We'll see. But I do want to challenge myself to do both of these this month. So, fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. Um, but if I only get one completed, as far as the books, I don't think will be a problem. Reading them will not be a problem. I think the make part will be the problem. But I seem to be pretty crafty these days, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so now on to the prize. I have, for this month, I have a crochet, well, I have 2 crochet hook sets. And if you don't crochet, if you knit and you would like a knitting needle set, I'll try to find something that's comparable. So I had ordered these to use in my classes that I was teaching, not like to use for instruction, but to use like to give people or to show them like this is what it looks like. But I've had to step away from teaching my crochet classes as often, and that really saddens me, but it's just people were flaking out, and I'm taking all this time and I'm working on all of this. I'm finding patterns for things that we can do together. I'm gathering all the supplies and everything, and then people don't show up. I mean, they paid for it, but then they don't show up. And then that's my time, and I've shifted my plans, and that's not why you're here. But anyway, I had these 2 sets, right? I haven't opened them, obviously, but they're beginner crochet hook sets. So, if you win and you want to pay it forward to somebody you know who wants to learn how to crochet or knit, right? And then if you are not in fiber arts and you win the prize for the month of March, we can talk about maybe some sort of set that's comparable, or something else along the lines as far as materials goes. Okay, so let me know what you think about March's genre pick. Let me know if anything springs to mind as far as, oh yeah, I know I could use this book, or uh, that reminds me of this book that I've read. And if you want to read either or both of these books along with me, let me know, right? We can do that. And again, we don't have to keep pace, right? But we can, because I'm bad about that when it comes to reading. I will get sucked in, and before I know it, the book is done. I still remember everything, but like time just I'm just reading, right? And so I don't know if keeping pace would be something that we could do. I would have to make a conscious effort to pay attention to the page that I'm on. We could try, but um, I would love to chat with you if you have read or if you would like to read one or both of these books along with me this month. Okay, so that's it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what comes to mind. And I hope to see your makes and hear about your stories for the month of March. And until I see you again, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao, Bella!